Hey guys, it's Friday or it's Monday, one or the other. But happy to see each and every one of you. I hope you're doing well. I'm still feeling under the weather, but I'm going to make this video for you guys. Here we are. Let's click on our third week's calendar agenda and January 7th. Students will be able to graph a linear inequality, identify the y-intercept, graph the slope, determine if the line is dotted or solid, and determine if it should be shaded above or shaded below the line according to the inequality sign. So the only thing for today, it says to watch the video and complete the assignments below. If you have not yet completed our first block's assignments, as I looked a minute ago, only 54 people had done that. You need to get that done. All right. You'll notice we have 2 IXLs, and then we have 2 problems, 3-star problems from the packet, page 17 and page 18. So all 3 things are due. All right. So if I go ahead and click on today's agenda, we should be warm up page 2 or warm up day 2, which is page 5 of your packet. So go ahead and get in page 5. I'm gonna want you to press pause so you can take a moment to try to figure out the equation of this line on your own. So pause and then unpause when you're ready to check your work. Okay, ready to go. The first thing I notice is the y-intercept. We know the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. In this case, it's a -1. Now we're going to mark the perfect points to find the slope. Let's do that in black. It looks like here's a perfect point. The y-intercept's a perfect point, and here is a perfect point. So we have 3 perfect points. Now we're going to calculate the rise over the run. This is going down, which means it's going to be negative slope because the line goes down. We're going to go down 1, down 2, down 3. So down 3 means put a negative, over 1, over 2, over 3, over 4. So you could write -3 divided by 4 as your M. Some students may start at the y-intercept and count up 3, and that's fine. And going to the left 4 would make the 4 negative. Then you would write -3 over -4. But truly, the negative belongs in front of the fraction, and the 3 over the 4 do not have a negative directly attached to it. So the best practice is to just put the negative in front of it, then put the 3 over the 4. Because as you can see, you could go down and the negative is attached to the 3. You could go to the left and the negative is attached to the 4. That's why we put the negative in front, because we don't know what you, the student, will use. Now, to write the equation, I combine those 2 answers. Y equals, the slope comes first, mx plus b. So y equals, m is -3 over 4 with an x, and then your b is a -1, so -1. Here is our b. Okay, rewrite the equation and graph the line on the graph. All right, cool. Your job right now is to beat the video. Remember, we're going to box and solve for y. So I'm stalling right now, so you can get that boxed. You can move what you need to move and divide, divide, divide. Box the y, move the x, divide, divide, divide. We say this little chant when the equation is in standard form. Remember, standard form is an ax plus a by equals a C. That is standard form. Okay, AX plus BY equals C. Oops, why do I say equals 5? COVID brain equals C. So I'm trying to stall so you can beat me. Here we go. Box the Y, move the X by doing the opposite. Negative plus a positive is 0. Oopsies, don't do that. Now divide by the coefficient of Y. Divide, divide, divide. Now with this being said, we know that 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now this is the weird thing. What number is being divided by 4? Remember, there's an invisible 1 in front of the X. So I can rewrite that as a positive 1/4, then place the X next to the 1/4. All right, here is my line. I'm going to highlight my y-intercept. It's the B value by itself. I'm going to highlight that on the graph, and I'm ready to graph. My slope is rising 1, running 4. Rising 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, put a dot. Now let's go backwards. Go down 1, but go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point. Connect all the points. And I am going to erase all the lines to make it look pretty. Okay? That's how we graph a line. That's how we solve for Y. Now let's take a look at our new topic, graphing a linear inequality. Our TEK is A3D, which says graph the solution set of linear inequalities in 2 variables on the plane, coordinate plane. So it gives you the 4 inequality signs, the greater than or equal to. Hey guys, there's a typo. Come on, people. The greater than should actually be pointing to the right to show that it's greater. Okay. If you have a dashed line, this is a dashed line, you will either have the greater than symbol or the less than symbol. Okay. You will have a solid line when it's equal to or greater, when it's equal to or less. So essentially, this means it's equal to, I want y'all to write that down right there. It's equal to. The first 2 symbols do not say equal to. The second 2 symbols say equal to or greater, equal to or less. Okay, that's very important. If they say greater, greater, or equal, it says shade above. If they say less or equal, you shade below. So there's 2 things you got to keep in mind. Let me highlight them in yellow, or let's go green. You've got to be able to tell which line is used. It's green. Hold on. Let me change some coloring here. If the line's solid, it'll be equal, and you will see the equal to symbol under the greater than or less than sign. Now, to shade above, it needs to say greater. This is greater, and this is greater. They both say greater. One also says it's equal. Also, to shade below, you need a less than symbol. So less than shades below, less than or equal shades below. Okay, so you need to keep that information. That's the most important information. If you can do that, you're ready to go. You're going to refer to that on your packet over and over and over. Okay, clearly I have it all memorized. All right. So the first thing we're going to do to graph a line is write down the m. In this case, it's 3, but I'm going to write the m as a fraction, 3/1. and to write down the b. This is the b, -4. So I'm going to go to -4 because I know that the b is always highlighted yellow. And I'm going to go up 3 and over 1. Up 3 and over 1. Up 3 and over 1. Oh, snap. Okay, so I did this without even paying attention. Before I start, I'm going to erase that. Before I do anything further after I get the points from my slope, I need to go back and look right there. That is a greater than or equal to sign. That means I need to make a solid line. Now I will do this. So it's kind of nice I made this mistake in front of you guys so that you could see. I've done this forever. I didn't pay attention to the symbol. I just went into graph align mode and forgot that we're graphing inequalities, which are completely different. Okay, when it's greater than or less than or equal to and all that equal to stuff, equal to means right here, that's equal to, and it's going to be a solid. And just think about an equal to on the symbol, it's a solid line. See, greater, solid line. So that tells you this better be a solid line. Now, since it says greater, greater means above. So when you shade, go to the y-intercept, which is right there. Shade above it, which is right here. That's shading above the y-intercept. And then which side of the line is that on? It's on this side. So this is the side that gets shaded. Desmos will not graph and shade inequalities. Okay, let's look at example 2. Graph the inequality. So I'm going to be on my A game now. First thing I'm going to notice is this, and I'm going to go ahead and put it under here because this is a dashed line because it doesn't have the equal to part. Only has a less or a greater. It's just less or greater. It doesn't have a equal to, then it ain't solid. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my M is 3/2. My B is -1. My M is going to be up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 2. Up 1, 2, 3 over 2. Now I'm going to go down. Down 1, 2, 3 over 2. Now you have a dashed line, and now decide, should I shade above or shade below? Well, think about the symbol. This is a less than symbol. Does the word less associate with the word above or the word below? And if you don't remember, look back up at the top. It has all the answers. Less means below. So what are you going to do? There's your y-intercept. Go back to your y-intercept, shade below. Here is below. What side of the line is that below part on? It's on this side of the line. Now you have shaded the correct side of the line. Now my question to everybody is, why are we shading? The shading represents the solution set. So let me write that down. This is the solution set. This is the solution set. Okay? Everywhere where we draw lines, all of those points are solutions to this inequality that we graphed. Okay, graph the following inequality. Oopsies, stop doing that. Okay, stop. Come on now. This is being a super duper turd. I don't understand. It's not wanting to zoom in. Can y'all just do your job? There we go. Sorry about that delay. Okay, again, we have a greater than. A greater than is dashed. Greater means above. All right, so we got that much. Now I'm going to highlight the y-intercept. And I'm going to graph the slope, -3/4. So I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And going down 3 and over 4, I'm going to run out of space. So let's go the other direction. Go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dang it. Again, here's another example of you're gonna make mistakes on the whole dashed or solid, because I just caught myself. Because you're just used to making everything a solid line. That's all it is. And that's what makes these questions sneaky on the star, is because students are just in the habit of always connecting the dots. Okay, so that's why we have these little tips. Remember, ask yourself, is it solid or dashed? Ask yourself if it's shade above or below. So we've already circled above. So this is above. So this would be above the line. Every point that's above the line is in the solution set. Okay. All right, final graph example. We have our y-intercept. I have my inequality sign is less than or equal to. Since it does say the word less, I know it means below. Okay, and then I know it's going to be solid. And my y-intercept's -4, my slope is 2, but I'm going to make 2 a fraction, 2/1. So up 2 and over 1 looks like this. And down 2/1 looks like that. Now, because it's solid, I can go ahead and connect my points. And shading below means go to the y-intercept, shade below, which is on this side of the line. So your solution set is everything where the shaded region is. It's also every point on the line. I don't know how I can. There we go. Yeah, it's hard to make that angled, but if I was to highlight your solution set, y'all, I'm gonna do it in pink. Every point on the line is a solution, and every point below the line is a solution. So let me go back to number 3. I would not count the line as a solution set, but I would count everything above the line is in the solution set. Looking back at the first 2, again, everything below the line is in the solution set. And on example 1, the line, the points on the line is a solution, are solutions, and then the points above the line are also solutions. So that will be on the star. It will ask you, is this point on this line a solution? And if the line is dotted, you'll say no. If the line is solid, you'll say yes. Okay, so if we go back to blend and it says, complete the following assignments below. We have 5.2, these two 5.2 assignments. All right, so looking at T2, you're going to need a piece of paper. This is skill T2. That's how I'm going to have it in the grade book. And write the following inequality in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Notice it tells you how to write your answer. Write your answer with y first, follow by an inequality symbol. Use integers, proper fractions, and improper fractions in simplest form. So here we go. 16x plus y is less than or equal to negative 14. We're going to solve for y just like we always have. Box the y, move the x, divide, divide, divide. Now, there's no number inside of the box. It's just a positive y. Then the answer is already done for you. And that's what we're going to type in. Negative 14 minus 16x. Y is less than or equal to negative 14 minus 16x. So look how it looks. Submit. Hello. I think it's probably because I had pulled this up a long time ago and it didn't like it. So let's do one that's super fresh. On this one, I'm going to minus 19, box the y, and move the x, divide, divide, divide. Notice that there's no other number next to y, so we don't have to divide, divide, divide. Okay, so I'm going to write the y. I'm going to write a less than, and then I'll put negative 8 minus 19x. Submit, and it gives me my credit. I will say on this particular problem, if you divide by a negative number, you're going to have to flip the inequality sign. Okay, so again, you'll notice in this new example that y doesn't have a number next to it. So once you move the 3x and make it a negative 3x, you're done with the problem. It would be y is less than or equal to negative 3x minus 19. Okay, now check it out, people. You have a negative y. Okay, so when I box the y and I move the x, now I will have to divide, divide, divide by a negative 1, because a negative y in a box is really a negative 1y in a box. So when I divide all of those terms by negative 1, this will flip to a less than or equal to sign. So my answer should be y is less than or equal to a negative 14 now and a positive 17x, because notice on my screen here, y'all, that will turn into a negative 14 and that will turn into a positive 17 because of the 2 negative signs. And I got it right. Okay, so that is how you're going to do T2. Now, when you click T3, it wants you to practice graphing like we just did in our notes. So notice as soon as I get on the screen here, it has a dot. So I need to go to the y-axis right here. I'm going to click it. Now notice as soon as I move away from the y-intercept, I'm going to click it. But does it want a solid line or a dotted line? Solid or dotted? And I'm going to have to look at my inequality. It's a less than. Less thans are dotted lines. Less thans have shading below it. Okay, let's do another one. I need to go to the y. I need to go to the 4. I need to touch part of the line. Now this says it's solid. The symbol is equal and greater than. So because it's equal, we're going to get a solid line. And greater means shade above. Submit. So again, go to the Y, go to the 6. You click on the 6 to make the line stay there. You move your finger and then click it. All right. Now a less than 6 means shade below and then submit. Okay, so check this out. The y-intercept is 0. My slope is 4. I'm going to go up 4 over 1. As soon as you click it, it automatically makes it a solid line. But I know this line is not solid because it's not equal to, it's just greater. And greater means shade above the line. And there you have it. Y is greater than 4x. One more. This says go to the y of -1, which is right here. Move over. It's just less than. So click twice till you get that dotted. And less means lower. So that is y is less than -1. All right, let's do one like this. This one says start at +7. You're going to go down 8 over 1. There's down 8 over 1. Oh, excuse me, over 7. Goodness gracious. Click it. Now this is a greater than or equal to. So I'm going to leave it a solid line and I'm going to graph greater than. And submit. Okay, so I've done 5 problems and I have 55. Your goal is to get 85 or higher on every IXL to get your 100. Okay, tutoring will be next Wednesday. So I'll be at school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in theory, assuming nobody gets sick in my house. And I'll have tutorials as I have always had them, okay? Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend or have a happy Monday night. Bye.